This is a March Madness video for today, since March Madness is tomorrow. Here are some of the picks that Jay Bilas did. So he has Gonzaga to win the national tournament, and here's the rest of his picks. Just doing a review since March Madness tomorrow, and I'll now do my picks later. For the West, Sweet 16, he has Gonzaga #1 versus #5 UConn. And honestly, I think that's a pretty good pick. South, he has Sweet 16, Arizona versus Illinois. And he has Arizona winning. I think that's a pretty solid pick as well. And then Tennessee versus Villanova, and he has Villanova winning. Honestly, a great pick as well. They have good guards on their team. Texas Tech versus Duke. Honestly, he has Texas Tech winning. Honestly, in my opinion, pretty interesting. I would put Duke on there personally. He went to Duke, so it's honestly kind of surprised he doesn't have Duke winning. Paulo Banchero is really going to get him. And AJ Griffin, he's an underrated player. Honestly, in my opinion, he's probably one of the best players. For the East, Sweet 16, Baylor versus UCLA. He has UCLA winning that. I could definitely see that happening. Midwest, Sweet 16, #1 Kansas versus #5 Iowa. I could definitely see this happening. #5 Iowa, definitely good offensively. He has Kansas winning. Purdue versus Kentucky. He has Kentucky winning. I can definitely see that. Jaden Ivey is going to be a tough challenge for them in general. Wisconsin versus Auburn. He has Wisconsin winning. Johnny Davis is definitely a good guard in this NCAA tournament, but I don't really know. I think Auburn's going to win this one. And then Kansas versus Wisconsin Elite Eight against UCLA versus Kentucky. And then the final four, he has Gonzaga versus Kentucky and Arizona versus Kansas. And then the national championship, he has Arizona versus Gonzaga. So Kansas is losing. And then for his championship, he has Gonzaga winning. Honestly, this is very interesting. A lot of his picks make a lot of sense. And here's what my picks are going to be. I have to read off the list of the games on ESPN really tomorrow. And here's what my picks are. For tomorrow, I have Michigan versus Colorado State. I think Michigan's going to win. South Dakota State versus Providence. I think South Dakota State's got that one. Memphis versus Boise State. I think Memphis is going to win that one. Norfolk State versus Baylor. Obviously Baylor. Longwood versus Tennessee. And then Richmond versus Iowa. I think Iowa's going to win that one, obviously. Georgia State versus Gonzaga. Marquette versus North Carolina. New Mexico State versus UConn. I think UConn's going to win that one. St. Peter's versus Kentucky. I think Kentucky's going to win that one. Indiana versus St. Mary's. I think St. Mary's is going to win. And 8 San Diego State versus 9 Creighton. I think 8 San Diego State's going to win. With 13 Vermont versus Arkansas. Honestly, I think Arkansas is going to win that one. San Francisco versus Murray State. I pick Murray State. Akron versus UCLA. UCLA, I think, is going to win that one. Texas South versus Kansas. I think Kansas obviously got that one. But here's my overall bracket and what I have for the Sweet 16. Sweet 16 down like Jay Bilas did. And honestly, here are my picks. So for the Sweet 16, I have Gonzaga versus Arizona, Texas Tech versus Duke, Baylor versus UCLA, Purdue versus Kentucky, Arizona versus Illinois, Tennessee versus Villanova, Kansas versus Iowa, and Wisconsin versus Auburn. And then moving on, I have Gonzaga and Duke, Baylor versus Kentucky, Illinois versus Tennessee, Kansas versus Auburn, and then I have Gonzaga, Kentucky, and Illinois versus Auburn. And then my final four, or actually my national championship game, I have Gonzaga versus Auburn, 78-73 Auburn winning. Honestly, I think I have a pretty good lineup so far. But what's your opinion on this? And here's some other stuff going on in the sports world. Nikola Jokic had 10,000 points. This is honestly amazing in my opinion. One of the best centers in this day of age in the NBA. Honestly, a modern center can do most things. He can pass the ball like magic, and he can shoot the three pretty well. Honestly, one of the best centers, and in my opinion, the best center in the NBA. And he's just honestly so good. And Mad Dog's top 5 NBA teams of all time. So 71-72, Lakers is #1. They definitely had like a 22 winning streak, so I definitely see them as #1. #2, 85-86 Celtics, definitely a solid team. And then at #3 at 66-67 76ers. I don't know too much about them, but a lot of people were clowning him in the comments saying that who made this list, he's 100 years old and all this other stuff. #4, the 70-71 Bucks. I can definitely see this. Oscar Robinson and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar on the same team, very dominant. And then #5, 82-83 76ers. In my opinion, I think they should add the 86-87 Lakers and the 96-97 Bulls. or 95-96 Bulls actually, and then the 2016-2017 or 2017-2018 Warriors, that with Kevin Durant, honestly a great team, or 2016-2017, whatever team you really want, but that's honestly in my opinion. They should honestly be on there, but the 66-67 Warriors, I definitely don't know that much about them. The 76ers, I definitely see that with Dr. J and Moses Malone, definitely an all-time team. But a lot of people were just saying that he's just, a lot of his picks are too old. And then here's some NBA, NFL trade grades. So A-, if the Cowboys get 2022 5th round pick and 2022 6th round pick, and the Browns get C. Browns get Amari Cooper and a 2022 6th round pick, which honestly this was very good for the Browns in my opinion, and a great move for them in general. Grade C, Broncos agreed to terms with Randy Gregory. The deal 5 years, $70 million, which I don't know why they gave him a grade C. That's honestly a bad move in my opinion. And Khalil Mack, the Bears get B-. Bears get 2022 2nd round pick and a 2023 6th round pick. A-, outside linebacker Khalil Mack goes to the Chargers. Honestly, this was definitely a good move for the Chargers, and I agree with that. Grade C, Jaguars agreed to sign Christian Kirk. The deal 4 years, $84 million. Honestly, I think this is a pretty good signing, but I think they definitely overpaid for him. Devontae Adams is probably going to get paid $24 million, I feel like, if Christian Kirk got $20 million. And then in grade C, the Steelers agreed to sign Mitchell Trubisky. I definitely think that's a pretty okay thing. It's better than going in the draft and waiting a couple years for him to develop. I think he's going to be pretty decent, but I'm not sure about his time with the Bears. A lot of people were pretty much sold that Matt Nagy was the problem, but hopefully he proves me wrong. 2 years, $14 million, definitely a steal deal. This should honestly be an A. I get a lot of people don't have faith on him, but you're only paying him $7 million a year for 2 years. Definitely a steal, and if he develops even more. The Browns get Amari Cooper and get a C for some reason. Honestly, I would put this in A- and put the Cowboys at a C. Honestly, I think they definitely won this and definitely got a good deal out of it with Amari Cooper. Hopefully they can solve the Baker Mayfield situation. I don't think he should be the quarterback for the Browns anymore. They need to find someone else. But also in other news, Jarvis Landry earlier this week got released. Honestly, that's very bad. And then Von Miller actually signed with the Bills. 6 years, $120 million. Honestly, a lot of people in the comments are pretty much just saying he's too old to be signed for that long of a contract or anything like that. In my opinion, I definitely think that he's definitely worth the money, in my opinion. I think this is a good signing, and who knows how long he's going to last. You guys are just being over-analyzing everything, and I think he's going to be pretty good. And then Julio Jones got released as well. Honestly, there's a couple of teams I could think of him going to. I would say maybe the Chiefs should really pick him up. Honestly, that would be a great option as wide receiver too, and would definitely help him at his end of his career. He could definitely win a Super Bowl with them. And that's just my opinion. And then Freddie Freeman signed at the Dodgers. 6 years, $162 million. Honestly, a great signing for the Dodgers. Definitely puts them in World Series category and definitely a World Series contender. The Dodgers are right back where they started. A lot of people were hating on them, saying that they got a fake championship, but I think this year they're definitely going to be one of the top teams and pretty close to winning that championship. And then here are the rankings for ESPN NCAA tournament players. Number 1, you have Keegan Murphy, forward, Iowa Hawkeyes. Honestly, I feel like he should be number 1. I don't really know. I feel like Jabari Smith, he's been pretty consistent, and I think he should be number 1. Number 2, Oscar, Big O, forward, Kentucky Wildcats. Definitely one of the top centers or forwards in the NCAA tournament right now and top player. Number 3, Ochai Agbaji. Honestly, a great player. Guards, Kansas Jayhawks. Honestly, been consistent scoring lately. Number 4, Chet Holmgren, center, Gonzaga Bulldogs. Honestly, I think he deserves to be on here and definitely good offensively, but I would put him at number 3. Jabari Smith, number 5, forward, Auburn Tigers. Honestly, I'd put him at number 1. Honestly, the best centers or forwards offensively, and I think his game in the NBA is definitely going to be good, and I think he's probably going to be the number 1 pick this year. Number 6, Benedict Mathurin, guard, Arizona Wildcats. Definitely another good score on this list. Colin Gillespie, number 7, guard, Villanova Wildcats. Definitely leading the Villanova Wildcats and our team in general. Number 8, Johnny Davis, guard, Wisconsin Badgers. Like I was saying earlier, he's definitely leading Wisconsin in scoring. Definitely one of the best players, in my opinion. Number 9, Drew Timme. Honestly, this is, I don't know, I put him at number 10, honestly. I feel like he should be on here, but I don't really know if he should be this high. And he's forward for Gonzaga Bulldogs. And then number 10, you have Paulo Banchero, forward Duke Blue Devils. He should honestly be at number 5, and he's way better than Drew Timmy's going to be in this ranking. He should be on at number 5, and this is disrespectful to Paulo Banchero to put him at number 10. And honestly, that's probably about it. Comment down below, what do you think?